This is ITV News Central. Good afternoon. A serious crash involving 3 lorries and a tractor this morning closed the A14 westbound in Northamptonshire. The drivers are thought to have sustained only minor injuries at the accident, which occurred between junction 7 and 3 near Kettering. Russell Hookey reports.
Well, as you can see, the westbound carriageway of the A14 still closed here at Rothwell, which is just outside Kettering in Northamptonshire, as the clear operation continues, although police do hope to have these vehicles moved by early afternoon and the road reopened. What seems to have happened is that around 6:45 this morning, a tractor and trailer were heading eastbound along the slow lane of the A14 when they were struck by an HGV from behind, also heading eastbound. Now, the tractor and trailer were knocked across the central reservation, crushing the crash barrier, whereupon they hit a lorry heading westbound. Now, those two were in direct collision. There was also a bin lorry heading westbound, which had to swerve and take avoiding action. That ended up on its side in the carriageway as well. Now, if it hadn't been just before the morning rush hour, if it hadn't been the summer holidays, this would have encompassed many cars as well, and the outcome would have been far more serious. As it is, the lorry drivers aren't believed to have serious injuries. The tractor driver was taken away by air ambulance to hospital in Coventry, but police say his injuries aren't life-threatening either.
And in the last few minutes, the A14 has reopened between junction 3 and 7. Well, there's anger amongst trade unions and passenger groups in the Midlands this morning as it was revealed rail users would face an above-inflation rise in ticket prices from next year. Ministers say the extra money would pay for further investment into the rail network. Michael Sibbert reports.
The work to improve Nottingham train station and the surrounding rail infrastructure is still ongoing. And although projects like this are supposed to make journeys easier, they come at a considerable cost, in this case more than £100 million. Today's fare rises are in part, say the government, to pay for those sorts of improvements.
The levels of investment are going to improve our railway network and our railway system. So that has to be paid for, and I'm afraid the passenger has to make a contribution.
The average rail fare will increase by 4.1%. That's 1% above the rise in the cost of living. But ticket prices on some lines will go up by more than 9%. A real kick in the teeth to commuters, according to unions.
Well, the reality is, since the recession hit in 2008, fares have risen by 40%. And over the last 7 years, six of those 7 years have been above inflation increases. We all know about the living standard squeeze, and commuters are being hit hard in the pocket. And the reality is, it doesn't need to be this way.
The price hike won't come into force until next year, but such an increase in prices just adds to the trend of getting around, getting more expensive. Michael Sibbert, ITV News, Nottingham.
The founder of Midlands-based Pucker Pies has died at the age of 83. Trevor Storer started the company in his own kitchen 50 years ago. The company now employs more than 300 people at its factory in Syston in Leicestershire. Pucker Pies released a statement saying he was a true gentleman. A simple blood test could have saved the life of a diabetic woman who died after a nurse failed to properly monitor her diabetes. Margaret Pitt, who was 55, suffered brain damage because her glucose levels weren't checked at the Alexandra Hospital in Redditch. The NHS Trust has apologised and paid compensation.
I hold no feelings of malice towards the hospital, nor to the Worcestershire Area Health Trust. I don't even particularly hold any feelings of malice towards the nurse. She, after all, has to live for the rest of her life with the knowledge that she played no small part in an unnecessary death.
Paralympic champion Richard Whitehead has this morning started his cross-country challenge of 40 marathons in 40 days. The gold medalist runner from Nottinghamshire is hoping to raise £1 million for 2 charities, Scope and Sarcoma UK, by running from John O'Groats to Land's End. Let's see what sort of weather he's running into. Here's the forecast now for the next 24 hours with Lucy Kite.
This'll keep your ears warm, but you can't hear anything.
It's 4:30. Hello, well I hope you're having a good day. It's going to remain fairly unsettled as we head through the next few days, but temperatures are rising, quite a humid feel by the end of the week. But as for this afternoon, well, the cloud building all the time and the cloud thick enough in places to produce a few showers or longer spells of rain. But the showers will be few and far between, some sunny spells breaking through as well, but disappointing temperatures, highs of just 18 or 19 degrees Celsius today.
Flybe, sponsors of ITV Central Weather.
Suffering from hay fever? ITV Pollen Count is sponsored by Benadryl.
Well, pollen levels will dip to low in any showers or longer spells of rain, but generally in the sunny spells we're looking at moderate pollen levels through today and tomorrow. Have a good day.
And that brings us up to date with the news and weather this lunchtime. I'll be back with Kate Fisher for ITV News Central at 6. From the team, have a pleasant afternoon.